fanfare, let's get the show started. What do y'all say?
Woo!
Let's do
I
it.
thought we were doing the wave.
You know
I
what?
thought it would. I would thought it would be fun to start off
Wh-
with the latest craze to hit the internet.
Wait, you got to roll a d20 first.
All right, that's funny. I win.
What? No, hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So the latest craze, the Freedom Phone. Have y'all seen or heard much about it?
Yeah.
The
I think
commercials have been everywhere.
I remember hearing about the development of the Freedom Phone like what last year, and then that was it. I haven't
Yeah.
seen anything commercial wise. All my ad blockers are like on point today, or they were on point
Oh,
today.
there's ads
Yeah.
everywhere. Every major conservative freaking person is like, you should buy a Freedom Phone. So start off the bet. If Freedom Phone wants to sponsor us, we will totally take it. Have y'all seen? Oh well, okay. So researching in the in advertisement incentive is $50 for every phone that your code is used on. So like a major influencer, right? All they have to do is get 20 people to sign up, or 20,000 people, right? If you have 5, 6 million followers, if you can at least convince 20 to follow you or to go buy this phone, you're at least making $1 million.
Oh, I got the image here. Hang on. This is what it looks like. It's ugly, man.
It's ugly.
I
So
think it looks like an
exciting.
iPhone.
Yeah.
It to me, yeah, it does. The sides and the front does look like an iPhone 3 or 4. So it pretty much has all your standards for your basic run of the mill phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing spectacular about it. But again, some people were complaining about the price point. Price point is $499.
That's not bad.
Bad
Wait,
compared
wait.
to the other
Four
phones on
hundred
the
ninety nine
market.
dollars.
$499, and they're offering 10% coupons all over the place. So you can say 450, right? Bam.
Oh, I see why. Okay, go on.
Yeah. Yeah. And so looking at what it is, right? You can't trust anything. And so Freedom Phone. Let's get into what it actually is, right? So it's a phone that's kind of jailbroken to work on any major carrier,
Mm-hmm.
and it comes preloaded with all your alternative tech apps. So Parlor, Rumble, uh,
Signal.
Signal, anything that people use because it's viewed as anti-censorship or anti-controllable comes preloaded on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I know personally I use a lot of the apps already, right?
Yeah.
And you can install YouTube and other items. And the way
Ooh.
the developer stated it is that it's the sandbox idea, right? So any app, when it's given permissions, it's only given permissions while being used in its own little bubble. So what it's doing is siphoning off and separating all the permissions, really. That's like the big deal about the phone. Because
Interesting.
yeah, why does YouTube need to know my location at all times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or need access to my messages or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest sell point that I could hear from the way he described it is just the way the operating system functions is they took the concept from a few open source that people have put out and created. They tweaked it a few ways, and they put out, you know, Open OS or Freedom OS.
Yeah.
So what does that mean in terms of like security? Like your data probably is being shared, but what about like
That's
these it's
that's
a
the
it's
big
a sandbox
question.
data. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the way he explained it, right? I mean, Alan might be able to explain that a little better. I can't. But the whole point of it is that if you're already using this phone, you're probably already using like 4 different ways to protect your own privacy. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like you're using your own VPN of some sort. You probably have some antivirus of your own. Uh, there's a lot out there. So really, I mean, I think this is kind of a good concept, and it breaks away. I mean, even if you want to go get a cheap Samsung phone from AT&T, what's that going to cost you? 800-900 bucks. So this one you can almost pay cash for and not freak out.
So they're just taking the phones from the manufacturer, wiping them, installing the Freedom
Swans,
OS,
swans.
and then selling those and be like, do what you want,
Pretty
basically.
much.
And then
No,
if
they
somebody tries
did.
to use your location or use your camera or anything like that, it notifies you. Says, "Hey, this uh app or website or whatever is trying to use this. Do you want to allow it?" And then you can go from there.
Mhm. Yeah, it informs you of everything. And some people do freak out about the phone, the body they used. They did use the higher end, right? So the highest possible gigabytes. So
Did you
the
get a
so
Freedom phone? Are you signed up?
I was actually telling her I wouldn't I don't think it would be a bad idea for work. I'm waiting to see a little more information on it, but it has piqued my interest. And as a business phone, I could see because there's a lot of information that I want to keep
Sensitive.
proprietary, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I know
So
that. Sorry, go ahead.
no, you're good.
I mean, just based off of what you've told me and what I found, like I'm still on the edge. Like I don't think I'll buy one. I'd rather secure myself with my VPNs and rooting my phone and turning off certain things. Because one of the things that I didn't know is that the Freedom Phone is made by a Chinese company called
Hong Kong. They
Umidigi.
made they're made in the company's based in Hong Kong.
Oh, okay.
So but that's the biggest thing, right? Because everyone keeps bringing it up. Well, it's made in China.
Hmm.
Name one cell phone that's not made in China.
Uh, Androids.
Nope,
Sorry.
they're still made in either Taiwan, Hong Kong, mainland China, or Korea.
Hey, we
Well,
recognize Taiwan as its own country.
yeah, and
Yeah, yeah,
Korea and South Korea. Like
but
all
they
the
don't.
Samsung phones, they're made in South
Korea,
Korea.
they own it all. So, but yeah, no, like so any phone that you're gonna get from any company or brand is gonna come from the same area. There's no controlling that.
Yeah, either the phone is majorly made there or pieces of it are made there. So yeah, there's no really going around that.
When can we like right now? Is it just in pre-order phase or like testing phase to gauge interest or?
It is available orders, so I
Oh,
think
okay.
it's supposed to start rolling out soon.
So bad. Oh, and to answer Ryzen's earlier question, if the phone companies can still track you, they'll still be able to track you. They'll be able to triangulate your
They,
position with the
your SIM
towers.
card, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's no really getting around that unless you start using payphones again, but I don't think people are going
Yeah.
that way.
So you just take your SIM card out of your phone, whatever it is, and pop it into this phone. So
Hmm.
your SIM card would still be trackable.
Yeah. Also,
The
pretty right
idea,
to point.
yeah, the whole point of it was to just
Yeah.
minimize what's getting out for daily consumers that aren't as tech savvy but do want some data privacy.
And you know what? Good for them. Like it's about time that we start to take back our privacy from phone manufacturers and other companies. Like our privacy is very important. And for us to just be selling it as is, like I'm not okay with that.
So I just dropped a poll in the chat. Would you consider getting one just based on what you learned today?
Tell us.
Yeah,
Have to-
I definitely want to see them roll out and get some actual hardware testing and people, poking in eyes. But it's
Mhm.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for some reviews to come out about it. Maybe like Unbox Therapy does a video on it. I like watching that
yeah, or
guy's
like
videos.
I like kind of like Linus's tech tips too.
Mhm.
I've learned that channel.
There's the one
Yeah.
I did send where he just kind of gives a quick. He does, he gives his opinion on it, and I think it's the guy from Unbox.
Mm.
It's been a while
Maybe.
since I watched it.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've watched Unbox Therapy.
What
I
were you
think
saying, Puzzle?
Oh, I would want to like interact with the OS first, just because I since the iPhone 4S, I've had an iPhone. I briefly tried the Motorola Razr with the Android for about 4 months, and I didn't really like it. So in order for me to switch, I would have to see if I'm compatible with that OS. Like I know that's shitty, but
it's
Mhm.
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
See
Uh,
that.
okay.
Yeah, that's kind of like Whittier. That's a good point because I was thinking I was like it's kind of like a burner phone, but like because
Mhm.
like burner phones can't be tracked or whatever. Like there's like a SIM card, but I think more so like I think the concept for me at least is a little interesting. Like why do we have to accept these data permissions from other apps like YouTube or Facebook or whatever? So I think that concept appeals to me at least.
Yeah.
And that's what has my curiosity, right? Because if I want a phone right now, I have to go to the store of my carrier, pay them $900 to $1,500, and I get the preloaded Google machine, right? So to me, $500 for something that's gonna work is not a terrible deal.
Mhm.
Well, you know what is a terrible deal? All these microtransactions for Pokemon United.